So you've got your new crested gecko. Now what? I'll show you. Hang tight. Alright everyone, so here we have our male. He is a tri-color. Beautiful little guy. Beautiful little male tri-color. Look at that. Completely fresh gecko shed. She literally just shed and I got the tip end off over here. It's a pretty girl, but she's jumpy. This is another this is a female tri-stripe. Hoping to get her nice and chunky pretty quick here and get some babies going on. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys real quick exactly just how easy it is to keep a crested gecko. Now, again, this is kind of DIY on a budget. You know, you can obviously purchase very nice enclosures for them to be seen visually a lot of the times and everything. And if that's your alley, then so be it. But anyways, this is the DIY version of crested gecko keeping. So I got this tote here from Walmart. I think it's I want to say like a 40 something gallon. So get your tote, and on the tote you actually want to poke holes all the way around it. I took a soldering iron and I did that myself all the way around the lid. You're going to take your paper towels and use that as a substrate on the bottom there. You're going to need to purchase something to put their food and water in. We're going to talk about their food in just a few moments. But right now, this is I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. This is a magnetic food and water holder that you can purchase on Amazon. I will put a link in the description below. So you want to take this, turn it here, and put it on the side. And these magnets are like super duper strong, so they do a great job. Want to put that on there. Now we're going to want to do some decoration in the enclosure, of course. So I got a big piece of driftwood here that I'm going to use. Big piece. So anyways, I'm going to lay that down in here. So maybe not. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've got that in there, we're gonna need some kind of foliage. So what I've done is I've taken pieces from a old fish tank, or if you don't want to do that, you can go to places like Hobby Lobby sells just kind of growing vines and stuff like this. Again, these are fake. We just want to lay these throughout the enclosure to give the gecko some good hiding places, make it feel a lot more secure. Okay, so right now, this is what we have right now. So those two black places there are the magnets that are holding the food and water holder. It's looking good so far, guys. Alright, so now I'm going to put a piece of pool noodle in there. Now, if you can see, I have duct taped the end of this pool noodle, and that's because I do not want the geckos crawling down inside of there and getting stuck. I have heard stories that people who have had that issue in the past. Again, this just provides another climbing source that they can climb onto. You can use pool noodles, excuse me. You can use hoses. Just a lot of different stuff, guys. And it's stuff that you have lying around your house as well. So after that, you're gonna want to spray it down really, really good, because crested geckos like a pretty good humidity. Put your lid on. I do not have any holes in this lid at this time because I like it because it keeps the humidity in pretty well. If you don't have holes in the lid, just around the sides, I've noticed. And that's it, guys. That is your Crested Gecko DIY house. Okay, guys, so let's talk Crested Gecko dye. So, of course, the top two competitors are Repashy and Pangea. Everybody knows that. So they normally come in these bags. If it is Pangea, it's normally in a bag. If it's Repashy, it's normally in a container most of the time. So I've taken the Pangea out of these bags and put them in these little mason jars, these little small ones, and I purchased the jars and the plastic lids to go on those. I think all together for 12 jars and the lids, it was like 16 bucks. But it's a lot easier to put it in here and than to have to dig around in the bag and it gets all over your hand and all that nasty stuff. So I just use these jars. We are currently using Pangea Watermelon, and here we have Pangea Repashy Complete Food, and then we have Pangea Growth and Breeding, and then here is our little shaker. I highly recommend these. These are awesome. So it holds your calcium powder down in here along with your vitamins if you have any for your feeder insects. You place your feeder insects down in here, shake the cup, and that powder will actually splash up onto the bugs, of course. But the bottom of this has like a little graded space down there where all of the powder will actually fall down to the bottom of the cup, not wasting your calcium powder. It's a pretty neat little thing there. And of course you have the Repashy Bug Burger. Now this is specifically for your feeder insects. I will tell you, this works absolutely amazing for crickets, dubias, either one. They love this stuff, eat it up like crazy. And then here you have the Repashy Superfoods Calcium Plus. Me personally, by far, this is one of the best calcium. This is one of the best calciums for the Crested Gecko, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. Very, very good stuff. And then here we have the Repashy Superfoods Supervit. Now this is a microfine vitamin supplement that you could or could not add into your calcium powder when you put it on your insects. I only do this like once or twice a month, and that's just to kind of give them a little boost. But so now we're going to go into actually how to make this stuff, get it nice and mushy for them, and put it in the enclosure. Stay tuned. Here we go. Okay, feeding time. All right, so I have some supplies here that normal people probably don't have, so I'm going to explain everything. Here, of course, I have the food. Here I have the water dishes. This is the water that I use to actually squirt in the deli cup to mix with, and that's because it's a very small nozzle up here, so it doesn't like put out too much. And then I have a half teaspoon right here. I have this little stirring stick. So the food and water containers, you can actually get these through a deli if you wanted to. Or you can buy these through Pangea. This is a 100 count box. They come in like 500 count boxes if you need that. But now, again, a lot of people will make the food in a container of this nature and leave it in their refrigerator for, I think it lasts about a week, maybe a week and a half if you're pushing it. But that's for mostly people who have like a lot of geckos and you would use that much in a week. There's no way that you are going to use this much in 1 week with just a couple of geckos. So I'm going to show you how it's done with just one gecko. Here we go. So since we got two, we got the male and we got the female. You're going to get 2 cups here. And you're going to get your food. Take your half tablespoon. I don't know if this is a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Probably a teaspoon, I don't know. You want to make it level with that. Just dump 1 scoop only, because that 1 scoop, I promise you, will get eaten in 1 to 3 days. I would not leave my food in there for longer than 3 days just because it's yucky. Honestly, I would change it like either every other day or every day. I like to change mine every other day so it's good and fresh. So anyways, you got your powder, and we're going to take just a little to do this, not much, just a little. You don't want it too wet. Okay, now we're going to take our stick here, stir this up good. You want the consistency to be just like a, almost like a Jello pudding. Nice thick consistency. Perfect. Now this one out. Of course, you just want to keep stirring until it's all mixed in good. Now, I will say that some people do not feed bugs at all, so they will put the calcium powder and the vitamin powder in their actual food, just like so. Now, I understand that does not look like a lot at all. Well, it's not, guys, because a crested gecko's stomach is often just a little bit smaller than its head, so they of course can't hold a lot of food, and you don't want to overfeed them because you'll have an obese animal. So anyways, all right, let's go and put this in the enclosures. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and put them in here now. Just lay them in there just like that. And I'm going to spray these down here just 1 second. Lay it in there just like that, and I've got the water in there already, so we're good to go on that. All right, guys, that's it. That is the complete guide to crested geckos. Super easy animal to breed, easy animal to take care of. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.